Going live, and we are live. Hello, my friends. My name is Teacher Evelyn Joy, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to talk to you about a topic that is covered in level 6 of VIPKID, and it can be mind-boggling, even for an adult like myself who has graduated high school and college, to remember these complicated grammatical things, such as remembering the difference between homonyms, homographs, and homophones. And even in level 6, when you're teaching, there's even an assessment where you have just a list of all of these words and you have to put them into categories of which one is which. So I'm going to try my best to break it down for you so that you can remember which one is which again. Homonyms, homographs, homophones. And by the way, this is a main reason why learning English is difficult. Why do we have so many words that either sound the same but have different meaning, look the same but have different meaning, look and sound the same and have different meanings? Well, homonyms, homographs, and homophones. I'm going to try to break it down, make it a little bit easier for an adult like you to comprehend. And an adult like me, right? Okay. At the beginning of these words, this is probably coming from Latin, I would guess. I'm not smart enough to know for sure. I don't have that prepared right now, but I am smart. Sorry. But that means same. So homo, it means the same. So when you look at graphs, think I look at graphs. I don't hear graphs. Graphs are something you look at. So homographs are words that look the same but sound different. So actually, let me draw an ear here. Oh, gracious. Ears are a little bit complicated to draw. So draw an ear here, and we're going to put an X through it and say it looks the same, but it sounds different, right? And it's going to be the same for homophone is the opposite. When someone calls you on the phone, you hear them. Unless you have video calling, you don't see them, right? You just hear them on the phone. So homophone is it sounds the same, but it's spelled differently. And all of these, they're going to be varying definitions. So all three of them, it means there's two different words that are very similar in either sight or sound or both, right? So homonym, sorry, I don't have a fun little thing to remember nym, but it's the other one. Homonym, sorry, let me put that X there. Homonym is something that looks the same, sounds the same, but has a different definition. How confusing is that? So once again, homonym looks the same, sounds the same, different definition. Homograph looks the same, does not sound the same, different definition. Homophones sound the same, do not look the same, different definition, right? So some examples of that are homonyms. So homonyms, once again, they look and sound the same, but they have a different definition. So a spruce tree, or to spruce yourself up. Spruce, spelled the same, sounds the same, but different meaning. A spruce tree or sprucing yourself out. See how that would be confusing if English was your second language? Like, wait a minute, I thought that was a tree. What do you mean you're sprucing yourself out? Are you using a tree? No, it's completely different definition. Maybe we need more vocabulary words in the English language instead of just copying the same word and making it mean a tree and getting ready and so crazy. Okay, suit. Okay, so it suits you, right? Oh, this suits me. Or to wear a suit or a bathing suit, or pack your suit in the suitcase, right? So suit can be a clothing item, or it can be like, oh, suit yourself, do what you want, right? So confusing. People would be like, suit, I know that word, but it doesn't make sense in that context. It's actually a completely different word. We just decided to spell it the same and make it sound the same. Isn't that confusing? Scale. So what was one of them is like the scale you weigh yourself on. And what was the other one? Oh, here we go. Yes. Okay. Weigh on a scale or to scale the wall. Yeah, that's an action. So one of them is a noun and one of them is a verb, and they're not related in any way. You don't use a scale to scale a wall. So confusing. Okay, fair. And this is confusing because there's also a different spelled fair, right? But this one is, this was in the price was fair, or to go to the fair, right? Or to pay the fare, is that one F-A-R-E? It's so confusing, even for us, because it's like one of them is spelled different and two of them are spelled the same. So confusing. Okay, homographs. Okay, the confusion continues because look, homographs, they look the same. They sound different and they have different definitions. So desert, right? I go to the desert. It's very hot in the desert. They deserted me. I was deserted by my friends. To get deserted, right? But surprisingly, to eat a dessert has two S's, and that sounds the same but looks different. So that's actually a homophone. So weird. So the desert, to get deserted, those are spelled the same. But then to eat a dessert is spelled with an extra S. To me, like to get deserted should have an extra S, but it doesn't. It has one S. Anyway, confusing. Bass. He had a deep bass voice. Or bass. To me, bass, like a bass guitar or a deep bass voice, should be spelled like baseball, B-A-S-E. That would be a homophone. Again, the basis in baseball is B-A-S-E, but to have a bass, a deep bass voice, is B-A-S-S. Why is the A long in that? It makes no sense. It should have an E and just one S, right? But for whatever reason, English language doesn't always make sense. We take a lot of our words from other languages, and so we have a lot of words that don't follow all of the grammatical rules. We have more exceptions than rules, really. So bass voice, bass guitar, a bass that to me, B-A-S-S should be pronounced bass. So a fish that you catch is a bass. But to play baseball, that would be homophone, B-A-S-E, spelled different. Sounds the same as one of them and not the other. So close. So they closed the store early, but I was so close to the store when they closed. And it's spelled the same. It's not so confusing. Can you see how that would be confusing learning another language? Like English is my first language. Spanish is my second language. And they don't have a lot of these. And if they did, I would be so confused. I already was confused enough learning a second language. These kinds of things make it way more confusing. So I closed the store. I'm close. I'm close to you. I'm close to my mom. I'm close to the store. Bow. I have a bow in my hair. I bow. Anyway, again, bow, a bow and arrow. I take a bow. So again, they look the same, sound different meanings. Why? I don't know. Tear. I have a tear coming from my eye. Tear, to tear a paper. A lot of times people spell that wrong because it sounds like it should not be spelled E-A. E-A is supposed to be long E, but it sounds like it should be T-A-R-E, and I feel like that might be a different word. So confusing. Homophone, two. These are things that being online, Facebook, all the social medias and stuff, so annoying when people spell homophones wrong, right? You're spelling a different word. You're changing the meaning when you write T-O-O instead of T-O or T-W-O. When you confuse these, you change the meaning of what you're typing. And Americans mess this up a lot if you haven't studied it extensively and memorized it, right? Capital, a capital letter, a capital building, but there's an O and there's an A. They sound the same. They have different meanings. There's a small letter and a big letter. That's a capital letter. If you want to know which one's which, it's confusing. Capital with an O is like a capital building, like a government, the capital of my state. Capital with an A is like the big letter, right? I like how we call it the big letter in teaching ESL because it's a lot less confusing than saying capital letter. Principle. So the principle of the thing And maybe in some states they pronounce this one differently. I don't know, but where I'm from, principal, it sounds the same. So the principle of the situation would be LE, like it was about my moral principles, right? Or I got sent to the principal's office because I had bad moral principles. So when learning how to spell this correctly, I remember in 5th grade, principal, we would say when sounding it out, principal, because he's your pal, except for when you're in trouble, right? Principal, principal. Okay, bear. I have bare arms. I saw the bear, right? And I think we even have some more forms of bear that sound like bear and are spelled these ways and used. I think there's maybe even another spelling. And I have to go to class in a couple minutes. So stare. So I stare at you while walking up the stairs. So anyway, once again, to reiterate, I'm a visual learner, so I like this chart I made. Homonyms. Sorry, I messed this letter up. Let's fix it. My bad. Okay, homonyms look and sound the same. Homographs look the same, sound different. Homophones sound the same, look different. So think homographs, you look at graphs, you don't see them. And you see graphs, you don't hear them. See how it's confusing? Homophones, you call on the phone, you hear the person, you don't see them. Unless it's video calling, that's different. So yeah, graphs, phones. And when in doubt, look at the teacher tips when teaching level 6 and you don't know which one's which, because that one is still in the teacher tips. Sometimes there's teacher tips. Sometimes there's no teacher tips when there's a confusing slide. I like when they give you the answers. All right. Did I thoroughly confuse you or clear something up? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Tell me some more funny homonyms, homographs, and homophones that you like. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.